Well, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Underhood Show presented by Mel Hambelton Ford. Hey, it's a beautiful Saturday morning out there, isn't it, Josh?
It is. Well, it depends on what weather you like, but yeah.
Sunny and 70 somewhere.
It is.
Just not here today.
Just got to find it.
That's right. Hey, it's a call-in show, 316-462-3673. Anything ailing your car, tires, brakes, batteries, anything in the automobile world, you want to talk about anything that's going on, purchasing, buying, fixing, whatever it might be, we'd love to hear from you. You want to talk about racing. You want to talk about our Black Friday sale we had yesterday. You want to talk about whatever. I don't care. Right, Josh?
That's right. It was a busy day around here yesterday for sure.
We did have a lot of fun, so we'll get to that here shortly, everything we did there for that part. But love to hear from you. Again, 316-462-3673. That's the number dial right into the front desk. Tell the girls you want to get past in the podcast with a question. You get a great price package by over $130 for each and every caller. Delbert's on the line. Good morning, Delbert. Hope you had a great Thanksgiving. Of course, some people probably still celebrating today and tomorrow on Thanksgiving, the family members and stuff like that too. So
he was here for Black Friday. He made it.
What? I missed him.
Yeah.
I wonder how I missed him.
Well, because there was a massive crowd of people here. That's how. But I handed Delbert a ticket, and he should have gotten a different line because mine wasn't the lucky one, I guess.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, Delbert, sorry I missed you yesterday. Sorry about that, but you're right. There was a ton of. I had a hard time walking through the showroom when everybody came inside after we gave away the 10 cars. But hey, Josh, as always, what's in that package? Out over $130 for each and every caller.
Yeah, so give us a call today, and we'll mail you out a package. It's going to consist of the works, which is an oil change and tire rotation. We use Motorcraft oil and filter products here at Mel Hambelton Ford. While we're performing that, we're also going to complete a multi-point inspection on your vehicle, checking over the brakes, tires, steering, suspension, all the safety-related components, making sure that vehicle is ready to go for that next 5,000 miles of driving. You'll also receive yourself $10 to Mel's Diner, so you can get yourself something to eat and drink while you're here with us at the Big Corner. Complete nitrogen for your tires, so you get all the great benefits that nitrogen has to offer. And then a BG products package, which consists of a can of MOA or motor oil additive for your engine oil, and then CF5 for your fuel system. Again, just getting that vehicle geared up and ready to go for that next 5,000 miles of driving.
All right, 316-462-3673 right there on the screen. That's the number. Dials in right to the store. Tell the girls get past you, and we'll get your question and get you that great price package and everything else too. The only show I know you get paid to call in on. So anyway, let's get the phones ringing, and got a lot of things to talk about yesterday and everything else too. But got a real quick question coming in on the chat line already from Andrew. On my passenger window on my 19 Ranger, the tiny there. I mean, I think you mean there is a tiny bubbling. Is that common, or what's causing that? So what I'm thinking, he's got a little bubble, and I'm wondering if it's tint.
That's what I was wondering too, if there was tint.
It's not
on
the
it,
glass
then,
itself, Andrew, but that someone's actually tinted the windows, and you got a bubble in the tint, is what I'm guessing. Now, I guess it could be another bubble of the glass delaminating or something. But I've not seen that for years because of how quality the glass has gotten.
And it's not something that would have.
Oh, so it is tint.
Yeah, occurred over time.
Yes. Okay. He just put another question out. The tint on the passenger window. Yeah. And what's happened there is maybe it had just a little piece of dirt, or just didn't seal quite right, or whatever. Maybe had a little moisture, too much moisture under the tint, or didn't dry out, or whatever, or just didn't seal off, or whatever from that tint.
Sure, right.
But it's very easy to fix. I will tell you that, to fix that bubble and everything else too from that part. So
they'll end up just stripping it and retinting it.
Most likely, yeah, most likely. He says it's factory, so no one's put any tint on it, Andrew. You don't that you know of. So we'll let him see if he can answer back to that question. But I still think it's got tint on that window. But Andrew, you know what? We will take a look at it for you, because that's probably the best thing we need to do is see it.
I was going to say, if he just wants to swing in and give us a visual on it so we can look at it and see exactly what's going on with it.
Yeah, I think that's going to be the best. But I still think, Andrew, you got someone's put tint on that window and come off of what's happened. So we'll take a look at it.
Definitely would be the most common
thing.
Bought
brand new. So maybe it is, maybe a little bit of lamination coming out of that glass in too, Andrew. Andrew, we just need to take a look at it, buddy, and see what's going on there. So if you can, any point in time, just pull on the service drive, we can take a look at it and get you kind of an idea what we need to do with it or whatever from that part. But years ago, we'd see a lot of lamination in glass, but we just haven't seen that for a long time. I mean, the quality of glass and stuff like that, especially on side windows from that part too. So anyway, yesterday, Black Friday.
Yes.
It was probably our biggest crowd we've ever seen. And for those of you that don't know about our Black Friday sale, We get 10 cars, and this year we started in September collecting the cars and going through them and stuff. And I know by far this was the best 10 cars we've ever had lined up. Just how many miles were on them, the quality of the cars, the
overall value, I guess, probably too.
Oh yeah, because there was yeah. But anyway, everybody just had to be in line by 7. And we drew, we gave everybody a number at 7 o'clock. We went back through the line and gave everybody a number. Then we started drawing the lucky 10. Had a great crowd, had a great fun and stuff like that. And got rid of those 10 cars pretty quickly. Of course, there's always about 30 minutes and they're gone. Just excited for those people. A lot of people excited to get them and stuff from that part. And it was cool.
Yeah.
Cool to see those cars. It's a really, truly Black Friday sale.
It is. Yeah, it is. For sure.
You guys had 10 oil changes for 99 cents for the first 10 in the line over there. And I know Quick Lane was crazy busy yesterday.
Yeah, they went like hotcakes.
So, yes. So anyway, Black Friday was great. And we're on to, what do they call it today? Isn't there a special day?
I think Monday is
Saturday?
Cyber Monday,
Yeah,
right?
Monday, Cyber.
I don't know.
How about it's the Saturday after Black Friday? I think it's true.
It is the Saturday after Black Friday. You are right about that. It might actually be something. Is it Small Business Saturday, maybe? Is that what the deal is?
I don't know. Who's got that answer?
Yeah, who knows about that? I think there is a
what
small
is the day after Black Friday?
There is like a Small Business Day.
It could be. I'm not sure what today is or whatever either. But so if you missed our Black Friday, hey, sorry. But it is a lot of fun and everything. It has a little chilly and stuff. It was great when I pulled in yesterday. I pulled in right about 6 o'clock yesterday, and the crowd was all the way. The line was all the way down the front of the building and all the way to the back of the building. But I do think. Did you count how many numbers?
So I had started with 700 tags, and we went through just about all of them. It was pretty dang close to 700 people.
It'll be fun too. Well, we had our drone flying yesterday too. It'd be fun to see the footage of that, of how many people were here. But I do know when we opened the doors of the showroom after we gave away the 10 cars and came in, because Lisa had the black envelopes full of cash. We drew for those off those same numbers. I could hardly walk through the showroom. I mean, it was that packed and everything else too from that part. So great fun, great time out here at the big corner. From that part too.
Always very exciting to see the excitement on somebody when they win a car. And I tell you, I didn't see the first several people, but the last person, it was going to be for one of the teenagers' kind of first car type deal. And man, she was stoked and on the phone with her friends in disbelief that she had even won and all that stuff. And so it was definitely exciting.
And it's fun for me. I stay out there outside and I help guide the salespeople to the right cars and get them backed out, make sure people don't get run over, and so many people we have and stuff like that. And it is fun and exciting to watch them get excited. We had a lady out there. She couldn't decide what she wanted. We were down to 4 cars. And so the next person was coming out, and he says, "I want that black F-150." And I said, "Well, I hang tight. You're going to have to wait. She hasn't decided what she wants." And it took her forever. She's on the phone. She's excited. She's about to cry and everything else. And she ended up not taking. She first looked at that F-150. That's why I told this next guy. I said, "You're just going to have to wait because it's her choice."
Yeah.
But I was getting a little impatient. I guess it was taking her forever to get it picked. But she ended up picking the Escape, and then the guy got his F-150 he wanted to. That F-150 is a nice truck.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there really wasn't any one of them, wasn't you know what I'm saying, from that side of things. But I guess it would be different, because every year I've kind of done the same thing. I think you've kind of done the same thing, to see it from a different person's perspective of in the process, I guess,
Yeah. So here's one thing I will tell you: the first time ever, the $99 car went first.
Really?
It was the first car to go. And I can't believe that, because it's always usually the second or third last car to go.
Yeah.
But that's telling you how nice all these cars were. It was a Nissan Juke, red car. It looked good and everything else from that part. But I mean, it was the first one to go.
Yeah. Typically it's
towards the end.
Normally always the $999 one or something.
So, I had a hard time pricing the cars this year, putting them in order how I wanted to go do it and stuff like that too. But, but it was the first time ever the $99 car was the first out of the gate.
That's
first
awesome.
gone.
Yeah.
And the next 2 people, you don't know what they picked to come out there. And the next 2 people are coming out after it too.
Oh, really?
So I don't know. That Nissan Juke must be something everybody likes or whatever too.
Well, I don't know. That's like when we were walking the used cars the other. What is it? The FJ Cruiser. We were talking about one of those, the Toyota FJ Cruiser, and it was we were talking about the book value on that car, and it was kind of sought after. And I'm thinking, man, it's just an FJ Cruiser, but I guess those are they definitely hold their book a lot better.
Yep, very true. Anyway, it looks like we got a caller coming. It's going to be Delbert here just real quick. And Austin Allen wants an update on the Futch racetrack. Yes, let's get Delbert taken care of here. Austin, hang tight on the radio on the show here. I will get you the latest and greatest that I know about what's going on at the Hutch Fair racetrack and what happened out there Tuesday evening. And we'll get everybody up to speed on the racetrack too here shortly. Let's see what Delbert's got on his mind this morning.
We're going to hear about it from a spectator standpoint.
Yeah.
Get him patched through.
Well, he's not on yet. Okay.
Nope, not quite yet.
Yeah, so we'll talk about the racetrack after we get done with Delbert. When Delbert tell us all about what his experience was like and what he saw out here at Black Friday at the Big Corner, how much fun he had or whatever. But I still can't believe I missed him. Yeah, I guess I know why I missed him though. Too. So we'll get him patched in here real quick and see how. But if I'm telling everybody, if you didn't come out here, it's worth the fun just to watch the thing go down and all that kind of stuff too. So the excitement, the cheer, the winners, and I wish everybody could be a winner, but it just can't. We can only have 10.
We really do try to minimize your time outside. You know what I'm saying? It's not like you got to be in line all night or anything like that.
And I guess we did have some people spend the night too.
Yeah, we did. Hey, let's go to the phones. Let's talk to Delbert. Delbert, you're on live with Under the Hood. Good morning.
Well, good morning, gentlemen. Boy, was it nice outside yesterday, wasn't it?
It was just a little bit chilly.
Sunny and 70.
It would have been all right.
Oh my gosh, that was cold.
I think it'd have been okay if it just didn't have the wind. It wouldn't have been so bad. That wind was ruthless, but I didn't say it's ruthless. It
was, but you guys had a lot of the cars open, so people were actually getting in the cars to stay warm. It was funny.
Yeah, I didn't really, to be honest with you, Delbert, didn't really kind of like that, but I didn't want to make anybody mad or whatever sitting in the cars. It's not fair for some people to get in and some people not to get in the cars and stuff too, but I get it from that part.
Well, somebody even brought a little heater, if you will.
Oh yeah, I know a gentleman had a generator.
There was a generator out there, and
I won't call anybody out, but Bo, I walked in and saw him right there. It was great. I loved it. Had a heat lamp too going.
Yeah.
And when Josh gave me the ticket, I thought, "Oh man, I got a great chance now. I got one of the main guys give me a ticket."
He says, "I'm in." Yeah, that didn't work.
Did you even get close, Delbert? Did your number get close?
Yeah. Well, I think the closest we got was 8.
8 away.
Number. So yeah, it did. But
That's
we stuck around the whole thing. I saw a couple of people I knew from past work experiences, so
that's cool.
It was great.
So if someone's
Josh was just
Delbert. So if someone's not been here, so Delbert, someone's not been here before Black Friday, and you have been, and they haven't been here. Tell them what they're missing. Tell them how much. Just tell me your experience about being out here on what time did you get here, all that kind of stuff, and everything too.
Well, as you know, we drove in from OKC early in the morning. We got there at we would have got there sooner, but we had some slowdowns due to the traffic. Okay, it wasn't the traffic; I had to stop and use the restroom, but too much coffee, and got there about 6:47. So that was plenty of time to get a ticket. But boy, by then, parking was at a premium, and y'all could have made some money on parking. I'm just saying.
Hey, nice thought.
This hint for next year. I don't know, but it sure seemed like outside Lisa was kind of a little disheveled by the amount of people. Maybe there was a lot. There was at least 1,000, which is probably the most I've seen, and this is my third time going. Not third year in a row, but third time coming. And yes, I haven't won at any point, so none of the cash prizes, none of the cars, none of that stuff. Got nothing, but that's fine. I enjoyed it. I brought my wife. We had a good time. Saw you guys. We're not crowd people, so in the building, which I think I heard somebody say, I think we're over our capacity.
No. We're fine.
You are.
We're fine. Well, Josh said he handed out 700 numbers, but remember, you can only get one per household and stuff. So there's plenty of people here. So I do believe there was over 1,000 people here.
Well, there was. I'll be honest with you. You guys probably didn't know this, and maybe you saw it later. But there was some people that were getting more than one per household. And it's hard to stop.
It is hard to stop, and
so, yeah, it is.
We try to be as fair as we can. I think we're being as fair as
And
we
one
can
of
be.
the things I can suggest for next year is that, and I know you got so many rules sometimes that you can't remember them all. And I'm sure that's the only thing is, Phil, you didn't tell people that if you won in the past 3 years, you can't win again. I think we had a couple of people that actually won a second time in the past 3 years, which is unusually, ungodly, unheard of.
Yeah, the lightning striking twice type deal.
Yeah,
Well,
like, how does that happen?
Well, and I will tell you, in the rules, it's in the rules, and it's posted everywhere from that part. I think a couple of people didn't have their insurance card. They
Yeah,
couldn't
there was
prove
two
insurance.
no insurances, and then one that had won in the last 3 years.
Yeah,
Yeah, and
but it's in the rules.
Still, I mean, you think about that.
What surprises
Somebody
me,
won
honestly,
within the last 3 years and still won again. That is just, they got some luck.
Yeah,
if you go to the casino.
Yeah, they shouldn't they?
What surprises me on that deal, we talk about insurance all the time, and then how long it takes people to gather up insurance when they actually do win. And I'm sure it's just the fact that they think that they're not going to win, and so then when they do, it just kind of comes as a shock, and then it's getting in gear from there. But I had one that could not provide any insurance, and one that couldn't provide a valid, so it had expired from there. So, and you
guys hosted a great show yesterday. It is the best time to go. I mean, of course, we'd love to have better weather, but nobody can control that but God.
Sure.
So we do our best to enjoy it, to endure what we have to. And isn't it somebody's got to get up on the roof here soon?
That's coming.
Who's got to get up on the roof?
That's coming. I think it's next week. Isn't it?
It is next week.
I hope it's nice and cold out there for you, sir.
Thanks, Delbert.
I
really
think he said he hoped it was really warm.
That's what I thought I heard him say. I wasn't quite sure, but I think that's kind of what he said. So, next Saturday, we got these weekends are running together too fast, too fun, and everything else, too. But, they're going up on the roof next Saturday.
Oh, yeah.
Didn't think about that. So,
toy drive for the Salvation Army.
So, our annual toy drive, I've been doing this, I don't know how many years. We need to check that out and everything else, too, how many years I've done that. So, I think I started in 2009. I think was my first year going up on the roof. So, wow.
It's crazy.
14 years.
It's a fun time.
Years.
You guys do a great thing there as well. So, I mean, there's a lot of things that I don't think people understand what Hambelton Ford does for the community. And you guys are just awesome. And that's why I come back. I know I don't live there anymore. It takes me 2.5 hours to get there, but it's so much fun to go up there. And every time I come up there, even though I haven't bought a car for years there, I think my last one was my daughter. And you guys still treat me like I'm family. And that's the best thing you could ever do to anybody. And I think that's one of the things that keeps people coming back to your dealership.
Well, Delbert, appreciate that. And yes, everybody know we did not pay Delbert to say that, okay?
No, they did not pay me. I got nothing. I spent money to come up there and didn't do anything. But, a little disappointed in that, but that's nobody's fault but, God.
Yep, I get it, buddy. Get it totally. Well, Delbert, again.
I hope nobody gets sick from being on that cold weather, but it was great. Okay, so I'll go to a car question. All right, so I've got my 18 Escape, 68,000 original miles. I know it sounds like original miles. It's only 18, right?
Yep.
And on idle, after it warms up, it has a little sputter. I'm not 100% sure what that could be, but I do know the battery's getting weak. So I'm going to replace that eventually. But because you guys gave me that information, but I've noticed it here lately too. So you can tell by the startup. But it's an AGM battery. Oh my God, those are expensive.
They are.
Anyway, the spit up a little bit when it's idling. Run fine. I do think the mileage is down just a little bit, by a couple of miles per gallon. My wife drives it more than I do, so not sure if it'd be plugs, maybe running some more fuel additive to it from BG Products. Another plug.
Yeah, that's the first place I was going
to that
towards.
Effect. Yeah, the fuel system getting a little bit clogged up because she drives it every day to work, which is about 4 miles one way, and then she'll drive it back for a few miles more. So it does get driven enough that it shouldn't be an issue. But
the problem with only driving something,
what could be causing.
Yeah, the problem with only driving something 4 miles and then shutting it off, and then 4 miles and shutting it off, is it never gets to operating temperature really, and so it's not able to burn off that moisture or condensation within the engine, and so that's when you drive something short trips like that, that's why, it's always better, or you get longer distance out of something that's more highway miles than in town or short trips like that.
It still used to always blow me away. I drive my demo from here to Hutch, 50 minutes. So it's good and hot in 15 minutes, and it had all time to boil that out, and then I'd back it out of the garage the next morning, and the condensation would be pouring out of the exhaust already.
Yeah.
That just shows you how quick
Yeah.
that stuff builds up on initial startup, and does that for these things. And Josh is right. These short trips are so detrimental, and it shortens your life, your service interval, drastically by doing that. From that part. So,
but definitely, yeah, plugs I think would be a good thing to look at for that thing. The other side of it is the compression restoration, the GDI service with those lower tension rings in it would be certainly a service that I would recommend on that thing with the shortest, or with the shorter ignition intervals with that thing. Would be something to look at as well. So,
yep.
Okay. I was able to find a way to turn off the start stop feature, so that doesn't work, even though it says it does. But
yeah,
there is a way, folks. Just saying.
Oh yeah, there is a way to shut them off, and I get that too. I will tell you, Delbert, these newer vehicles, like the F-150 I'm driving today, it's a 23, and I don't even notice it anymore. It shuts off so nice and easy, and it starts up so nice and easy. You don't even feel it anymore. Now, years ago, yeah, I get it. You feel it shut off. You can feel the engine shut down, and then you feel it crank up and go. But boy, I tell you, today, the technology, these newer trucks and vehicles, you just don't even notice it's there at all.
Well, I think one of the things that I had an issue with my 2020 and the flex plate you guys know about.
Mm-hmm.
So the auto is just something to mention. The auto start-stop technology, starting and stopping that vehicle all the time using in my year, I'm not sure if it's still doing that in the newer years, using that flex plate as a start and stop thing. I feel that could have been something that is what causes it to degrade and eventually break.
Oh, it could be. I mean, there's no doubt it probably is from that part. So,
well, that's something we need to strengthen, And I know that when I had mine changed, I asked if they changed the part number, and I think it was Josh who checked into it, and it's still the same part number. But that doesn't mean it wasn't changed. It just means that they kept the same part number.
Yeah,
so,
Josh, you can kind of tell me too. I mean, we years ago, man. I mean, I remember overhauling starters, fixing starter drives, and all kinds of stuff. We just don't see a starters anymore like we used to. And I don't know what you see about the flywheels. I mean, was Delbert kind of a rare situation, or do you see some I don't see this every day like you do.
Yeah, I would say as far as again, the number of vehicles that we see, flywheels aren't really a thing, but I would say the odds of putting a flywheel in over a starter is probably more likely that we'd replace a flywheel than a starter. Man, you just don't get to the point where you replace a lot of starters or alternators or really water pumps. I mean, I can just think of years ago that's what you did. It was pretty common.
Water pumps were a big issue. They disintegrate with the antifreeze and or degrade, or I don't know how you want to word it, but corrode, fall apart.
Yep.
Seals go out.
Leaking that coolant.
Yeah, I mean, maybe you can explain better, Josh, on what a flex plate is and how it works in a vehicle, and maybe that'll help some of these people and what years they started using this and so on and so forth.
Well, and I don't. So years ago, it used to be called a flywheel, which flex plate, flywheel, kind of same thing. But it essentially connects the engine to the transmission, and then there's a big gear around the outside of it that the starter engages into, and that's what is able to turn the engine over to get it to start. And what happens, or in your case, where the flywheel bolts to the crankshaft, it cracked out around where the bolts are, and that's one of those things that once it started getting weak from flexing, and once it started cracking, then the integrity of it went downhill probably pretty quick, and it's something that happened pretty rapidly, would be my guess.
Yeah, there's some pretty big welds that hold looks like maybe 3 to 4 pieces together around where the bolts go through. And it looks like that's the failing point, not necessarily the bolts, because the bolt holes were still round and not oblong or anything.
Yeah.
But yeah, you could hear it in the flex plate itself. The the movement of the metals. So that's where the sound comes from. Makes it sound like it's bad piston or something slapping against there, but it really was just the flex plate making all that.
Well,
racket.
out of those two repairs, the flex plate is definitely the cheaper one. So
That's very true.
Definitely, yeah, definitely. And I was happy about that. But,
Yeah.
It's something that hopefully people don't have an issue with. It makes you relook at what you may want to purchase in the future as far as the older cars. I can't say for the newer ones because they hopefully are built better than they were back when.
Yep, I
the
agree.
20s were a problem.
Agree 100%.
So, they learn from their mistakes. People don't just because I know Chevy has their issues. Chrysler, Daimler, Stellantis, whatever they're called today, has their issues. Toyota has issues. Honda has issues. Things like that. So every vehicle at some point in their life is going to have some kind of issue that you can't hold the company totally responsible for, but you can sure hope and let them know what the problems are so that they can hopefully fix it in the future of building vehicles. Because they can only get better if they know the issues.
That's exactly right. Well, anyway, Delbert, I think we got another caller hanging, don't we?
Yeah.
Anyway,
Go for it. You guys have a great day, and thanks for this year, and I hope you do it again next year. And
we will. It'll be again next year. Don't worry about that. So anyway, Delbert, have a great weekend. Thanks for being here. And we got to get to, I think it's Joe, right?
Yep.
Joe, thanks for waiting. Thanks for holding.
All right, Joe.
He's not here yet.
He's not there yet. Okay. So anyway, Delbert, thanks again, buddy. Anyway, I'm messing with my screen, and guess what pops up? I wonder who's been looking at the Kansas State Fairgrounds racetrack on a Google Maps. I wonder who that was, Josh. You think that was me?
It could have been. Yeah.
So anyway, Austin, I know you want to hear about what's happened at the racetrack. I want to get everybody up to date. Let's see if we can get Joe hung up. So Joe, sorry about that. If you want to call back, got to get caught up here. Good morning, Dennis. Good morning, Mike. Good morning. Troy Furman says Josh needs to go on the roof. How about that?
Whoa,
Thanks,
whoa.
Thanks, Troy. Appreciate that one. And good morning, Billy. So anyway, there went the screen. So anyway, we'll get some up to speed here on the Kansas State Fairgrounds. We went over last Tuesday. I was hoping that we were going to get an answer from the Fair Board of an approval to go ahead and start moving forward with us promoting the racetrack for next year. So basically, everybody, what you want to know, get things caught up here is the Fair Board about approximately a year ago voted to basically do something different than have a racetrack at the Kansas State Fairgrounds. A lot of people excited. A lot of people got disgruntled with that situation, and everybody's went to work on trying to how to reconvince the board to change their mind. And Billy says, yes, Josh on the roof too. So
thanks, guys.
There we go. Josh on the roof. So anyway, if you're going up, Josh, I'm telling you, I hate to say it's going to be super cold.
Yeah.
Okay, I need to stop talking because I'm going to be in trouble here.
You are.
I'm going to be in trouble here in just a minute. So anyway, we went over. I presented my proposal on October 31st like they wanted for the deadline. I really, truly believe it's a great proposal I put together. To me, there's no risk for the fairgrounds whatsoever. I want to let them I told them, let me run it for a year and let me come back. I've set up a whole complete company and everything to mount it to the expenses and everything else too. And if we can get Joe back in, we'll get Joe passed in as soon as we can here. If he does get back in or not, I'll stop talking about the fairgrounds and we'll re-get Joe on the line here too. So anyway, so we did a proposal. I presented it a couple weeks ago on, I think it was the 4th. We went back hoping to get an answer last Tuesday. And the first thing out of the barrel is one of the board members wants to postpone it to January 9th. He wants more time to review and do things with that. Yes, I was very frustrated because I need to get going. I need to start working on the track. I need to start working on sponsors. I need to start working on other sanction bodies other than IMCA to come in and race. I've got sanction bodies calling me wanting to come to the fairgrounds and race. In July, it's the 50th anniversary of the big fire.
Yeah.
We were up in Speedway Motors last night for the banquet, not the banquet, for a reception time for the IMCA banquets happens tonight. And we actually got to see the pictures again from 1974 at the fairgrounds. And I'm telling you, every time you look at that picture, you see the big flames and fire and how crazy what happened.
It is crazy.
So we got sanction bodies wanting to celebrate that 50th anniversary of the big fire at the fairgrounds, everything else in that part. But I can't say yes to any of them until I get an approval. So now they've made up a ad hoc group of about, I'm going to say there's 6 or 7 of us on the board. At least I'm on the board. to go back and have a couple meetings before January the 9th, because that's how long they asked to postpone it. And we'll have a couple meetings with these 6 or 7 people to go back and present to the board again why or why not. But I'm saying we need to be racing on that racetrack. I don't want to see the racetrack go away. I know there's a lot of people that don't want to see it go away. So this ad hoc groups committee will meet. Several people from Hutch that's on that board. Joe here?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to interrupt there. I'm at the ad hoc group, and let's go to Joe.
Joe, you're on live.
Hey, good job, guys. I like listening to the show when I can.
Thanks.
I have a new F3 or F250 Ford, and it's kind of a cheaper model. And I called to have my Sirius radio switched over from my old one to my new one, and the new one doesn't have, it's not Sirius capability. So is that easily changed, or I'm kind of surprised?
Yeah, it's a brand new truck that you're in now?
Yeah, it's a fleet truck, so it doesn't have a lot of the bells and whistles on it.
Yeah. So Joe, basically, the easiest way to go about adding the Sirius XM to that truck would be with an aftermarket system. So it can be done, and it would still use the factory display or so everything would still look factory on the truck, but you would be adding an additional module into the truck that would be aftermarket. Would be the easiest way to do that for that vehicle. To do it from the factory, or to put the factory components in that truck, one, the expense of it, but then also the ability to program all those modules, it wouldn't allow it, just because that it has VIN specific information or data in there, and so every time you would go to program one of those modules, it would know that it was not equipped with it from the factory, and so it wouldn't allow you to do that. But it's certainly something that that can be done. We can get you a price on what it would take to add the aftermarket module. They're relatively it's relatively feasible from that side of it. So.
Well, do we lose Joe? Or maybe we lost Joe. Who knows? But Joe, I hope you heard that. I hope you got the comments down there, what we can do, but it is an easy fix. A couple $100, Josh.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll get his information, and we'll give him a call and let him know what it's going to take to get that thing fixed up with that satellite radio, because that is, especially if you're traveling, or sound like maybe it's a fleet truck. So I don't know if you do a lot of traveling or not, but that's definitely something that's very convenient to have in those situations for sure.
Yep, exactly. So, okay, so let's roll back to the racetrack. So basically, where I left off at is one of the board members at last Tuesday made a motion to postpone it to January the 9th. And so now we've made up, they asked for an ad hoc group to put together. It's 6 or 7 or maybe 8 of us on there. I'm on the board. Several Hutch community people are on the board and stuff like that too. We're going to meet a couple times, I think, before January 9th. And there's a couple board members on the board too, and talk about different things. I really want to know what this board member has to offer for why he wanted to postpone it, what his questions are, or what his concerns are, or whatever about racing. There, I'm proposing a 1 race a month, starting in March if weather permits, all the way into October if weather permits. This year in November we could have raced in November, I think, but you never know. Every year is different on how that's going to work. And like I said, I want to do a 2-day event in July, just because that's the 50th anniversary of the fire, and a lot of people involved in that are asking for that. I've got a huge sanction body that wants to come race that weekend to celebrate it. But now that I'm postponed to January 9th, I can't commit to these sanction bodies. I can't commit to any sponsors. I can't commit to anything going forward. I think we'll get it approved. I think we'll be okay. I think the racetrack will move forward. But I don't know. But I can't go out and make commitments to other people on a whim that maybe it's going to happen, maybe it's not going to happen. Yeah. But I still want to talk to some people and stuff too. I'm still moving forward as much as I possibly can, because every day that we don't get moving, this race deal cannot get done in a month to go race. Yep. And the other problem I got with it is they finally give me the approval January 9th. The ground's going to be frozen rock solid. Not going to be able to do anything with that racetrack, dirt-wise or anything, until it thaws. When's that? Is that February? Is that March? Who knows what time of the year that will be, to be able to go and run tractors and graders and things, because right now the track is a mess. Over the fairgrounds, on the fair time, they had, I don't know if it was a tractor pull or if it was the demolition derby, but they piled dirt all over, and there's piles of dirt everywhere.
Oh no.
So that's why I want to get going. I'd really love to have already prepped the track and let it set all winter to get super, super hard. From that part, the other thing I'm going to do, racers, I'm going to bring in several different people throughout the country that run a successful racetrack, and I've already talked to them, and they're willing to come and tell me and give me their opinion on what to do to the racetrack, how to perform it, how to make it work and stuff. And I've even had people call me and offer that are successful racetracks that say, hey, we know what's happening in Hutch. We want to help. We want to get involved, and we will help put things together. So excited for all that. I just need to get the board members to be excited about it too, and get them more excited than all of us are about it. The committees that are out there, the groups that are out there that are fighting to keep this racetrack from that part. But we got to race on it more than once a year. We got to race on it once a month, at least like that. And I want to be prepping that track every week, getting it ready. So it is a great racing service for the racers, but also it'll be a better race time for the spectators to watch it.
Yeah.
From that part too. So if you got some questions on the racetrack, I'd love to hear from you. You can call into the show. I'm going to put over in the comment section, whatever, from that part too. Troy, I don't know how to answer that, but I'm going to have if I get the racetrack, it's going to be a 2-day event honoring that big fire in 1974, and that's in July. So that is my plan right now at this part. And let's go next step is the IMCA. Everybody, I want you the racers out there to hear me on this part. IMCA is the biggest sanctioned body in the country. No one comes close to having as many race cars as those guys do. I want to build into a facility. If you haven't been to Boone and see how that runs and what goes on there, that is a crazy time. I've been there now twice myself. It is a fun time. It's a great experience. Can I ever get it that big? I don't know. Never doubt. Don't think I can, but it's going to take years to do that. But that's what it can get built into. Next thing is we're the Hoosier Tire Distributor of Kansas, Colorado, Nebraska. I want to sell Hoosier tires. Okay, period and simple. Now, you racers that are fighting that situation of IMCA versus the other tire and stuff like that, you want to come race. I'm not gonna make it mandatory on every exact rule of how we got to get there. We'll get there week by week by week and stuff like that too. Talked to a racer last night. We was up at Speedway, and he's running a stock car. And it's like he said, you know what? I have more fun running IMCA than the other one, but he runs both.
Yeah.
He says, there's just, it's a tire rule, kind of a difference in the tire and stuff like that too. Talked to a gentleman here in the parts room yesterday on Black Friday, talking about how he wants to come race, but his car is really not all 100% legal. I said, you know what? I'm not going to be that tight on that. I want to be fun. I want to have every racer we can get there. We got to have as many racers on that racetrack. We got to have so many people in the stands, as many people as we can get in the stands. We got to support this racetrack. We got to get it moving. And right now, IMCA is the best way that I think to make this thing go. I want to attract racers from all over, not just here around in the Wichita and Hutchinson area. I want racers coming because it's a great experience. It's fun. We're going to have a great pay. We're going to it's going to be a fun environment. When Lisa gets behind this with the fan experience, it's going to be a fun time for the fans, fun time for the kids. It's going to be an event every time we race there at the Hutch Fairgrounds. So hope I've got you all up to speed. Let's hope January 9th, everybody stick behind this. Let's stay positive. Let's stay excited. Let's be pumped that we can get the ad hoc committee to convince the fair board that, hey, you know what, this is the right thing to do. And I'm going to tell you, if I was sitting on the fair board, even though I'm a little biased here or whatever, I'd look at that proposal and say, you know what, this is kind of a no-brainer. There's nothing to lose for the fair. One more year. The thing is, the fair doesn't really even have a plan yet what they're doing with that ground.
So
but everybody, I also understand that the fair has got to make money. We got to get back to understanding whether we like the history of the racetrack or whatever it might be, or we've always raced there, we've always done this or whatever. The fair's job is to make money. It is a business, and we have to go back and do that. And that's what I want to go do, is I want to help them make money with that racetrack. I want to go back, run it a year, come back with all my financials and show them exactly what I did. And I'm going to do it in an executive order. I'm not going to do it in a public manner of showing all my expenses, everything we did and what it does. And then I told the fair, then let's get behind this a second, third year, and let's really blow this racetrack up and have a lot of fun with it. So love to hear some questions. Love to hear some comments, whatever it might be. 316-462-3673. How about that?
Just like that.
Just like that. So I hope I get you all up to speed on what's happened at the Hutch State Fairgrounds. And hopefully we can get this ad hoc committee together and convinced a couple board members on there that it's a good thing to go do. I think we can as a group. But everybody out there fighting this racetrack, I'm asking you to be positive, to be pumped, to be ready to go. Show different things on Facebook that you want to see that are positive about what we can do with this racetrack and the things that's happened to that racetrack, and so we can convince these board members in a positive way of making this a great, fun environment and keep this racetrack racing for many, many years.
I mean, it comes down to the fans and the spectators, and the sport that they put behind it will determine the long-term outcome for sure.
Well, I kind of said that too Tuesday on the deal, and I kind of got a little criticism for that too, but I am serious about that. You all want the racetrack. Now, if we get this done, it's also, what are we going to do with, how are we going to support it? We have to go support it. The fair board can't support it.
Sure.
Us as spectators, us as racers, all that, we have got to go support it. So I'm just saying that is what it is. So anyway, 316-462-3673. Love to hear about anything that's going to happen there whatsoever too. And Ethan, curious about the Nationals. That's a whole different ball game there too, Ethan. And like I said, July is the 50th anniversary of the big fire. I am planning a 2-day event in July. Got a couple of different sanction bodies that are willing to come race. It'll be a great spectator time for those people to come watch those hot rods that I got planned. I hope I can get that still in place by January 9th. I'm going to make a phone calls next week to still kind of keep the hook out there for them and let them know where we're at and what's happening. But we'll see what happens. We just got to get this ad hoc committee to convince everybody to go. So any other questions, comments, whatever, love to hear from you. 316-462-3673. Anyway, Josh, we flew up to Lincoln. I get the two towns, Omaha and Lincoln, turn around all the time. I don't know why I do, but got to go through the museum up there last night, and boy, that Speedway Motors has got a museum that's a second to none. For you racers, if you've never,
you don't even have to be a race fan, honestly. I mean, it is just absolutely impressive up there, and the museum that they have up there, the amount of history that's in it, it's absolutely crazy. I can't think of really any other museum that I've been to that's like that.
It's so huge and so, there's so much history. There's crazy, the different things you can see. And you're right. I guess you don't have to be a race fan, but if you're a race fan, you're going to love that show.
Yeah.
We ran a couple of people we knew that had never been there last night, and they're just blown away. And I get blown away just a year to year, how much has changed, how much has improved. Then we got some of the behind scenes tours last night of the stuff that most people can't get. But man, what they're building and it's unbelievable what's coming in that situation and what they're going to do future wise and stuff. But any type of thing, it's just not just dirt track. It's not just drag racing. It's every type of racing is in there.
Just some of when we went, he took us in that one back room and got to see some of the PR stuff for, what was it, 50s, 54, 50 something for GM when they released the
Chevy and the Power Glide in 50s, mid-50s. There's all that stuff sitting there. Wow.
Just the display like you would have seen at a trade show or, I don't know. It just blew me away, some of the stuff that we got to see up there for sure.
Yeah, it is. It's a phenomenal time. So if you're ever in Lincoln, you got to take we spent 2.5 hours through it last night, and we were walking. We didn't stop and really gawk and read it and do everything. But I think you can spend there's 3 floors right now.
Yeah.
I think you can spend a minimum of 2 hours on each floor.
So what blew me away the most, and, it makes you think of in today's technology too, like seeing the amount of just engines that they have there of the different experimental things that manufacturers did and how far advanced in time they were, and we're talking, 50s and 60s and 70s and, stuff like that. And then you're seeing experimental stuff that really didn't show to the public till 10 years down the road or, later on than that. And it just makes you think of what the heck is out there right now that,
what do they got out there they're not showing us now?
That they're not showing you now that is experimental at this point. You know?
I was blown away just because
I'm almost certain there's a jetpack. There's a jetpack.
But just like I said, we were looking at stuff in the 30s and 40s where they were making overhead cam motors.
Yeah, fuel injection,
mechanical fuel injection, all that kind of stuff we saw.
Turbos, the number of turbos that I seen last night on older engines like that just blew me away.
Yeah. And now here we are today running turbos everywhere.
on everything.
About everything is overhead cams, like because it's more efficient and everything else too. I got over just some of those. That one motor was a dual overhead cam with 4 valves, and I think it was in the 30s that they had made that.
Well, to time that and to even think about that, I don't. It just that blows me away. And with the tools and equipment and stuff that they had, I don't know. And that was one of the other things, that wall of tools, from the 30s and 40s.
Hey, that's a question we can ask real quick. And we got a few minutes left on the show. Can someone tell us the difference between a monkey wrench and a pipe wrench? What is the difference? There is a huge difference. But I learned that last night. Didn't know the difference. Did you know the difference?
I did. Yeah.
Okay.
I did.
Whatever. I didn't.
Okay.
So I learned something. So what is the difference between a monkey wrench and a pipe wrench? 316-462-3673. No comments. You can comment, I guess, but you're not going to win the prize. But the difference is, if you call in the show, tell us what the difference is between a monkey wrench and a pipe wrench, you get the price back. He's about over $130 for just calling it. What's the difference between a pipe wrench and a monkey wrench?
But I guess where I was headed with that is, I don't know, a technician back in those days was probably pretty buff. Of course, they probably only, the set of wrenches that they had then was probably 5, and you could disassemble just about anything. But.
Okay, so let's go back. They had that one area set up what your shop would look like back in the 30s. And they had a head off, had a Model T or Model, I can't get all those straight, Model A, Model T, B, A, whatever they all might be, but had one in there with the head off of it, head on the bench, had the tools all laid around there and stuff, which is very cool. But I still think the favorite one of mine is that display from probably in the 20s where the guy came home with his car on the back of his Model T, A, whatever it is, and just parked it, and they grabbed all that and put it in the museum and made it's just sitting there like original, like he just come home from racing, and there his race car is on the back of that truck and it's sitting there. I think that is the most coolest thing in the world that they've got it. Of course, there's so many cool things, it's crazy, but that's one of my favorites is that thing sitting there. So
what blew me away on that deal, so under the car there was like kind of like a little bit of a toolbox under there, and there was all sorts of like different gears and that they were changing out at the track to make the car go faster. It's just fascinating, just absolutely fascinating. But anyways, somebody to go up there to that museum and walk through there, like I could not stress enough that it is well worth whatever time that you would have invested to be able to do that. So
agree totally. Like I said, we spent 2.5 hours through it last night, and we went very fast. I think there's 3 floors right now, but there's going to be more area put up. I don't know how many more square footage he talked about last night, but you got a sneak preview of what it's going to turn into be the sprint car area. The sprint cars are going out and going in, and then Indy cars are all coming in where the sprint cars are at, and all kinds of stuff happening there. I mean, it's crazy. It's so much fun and interesting and stuff. And I was texting a few pictures to Ellie last night. She was jealous. Of course, she couldn't be there. So I'm going to have to make a trip to Omaha to go, or Lincoln. I say, there I go again. I can't keep them straight. To go through that with her and stuff too. It's cool.
I don't know. And I'm sure it's like this in all, in all different events or whatever, but to be a racer then physically, what that would do to you, the power steering, the suspension advancements, just how they were positioned in some of those cars. It's like
just
crazy.
Like
the motorcycles is the other thing too.
Those land speed record cars are in it, the Bonneville salt plants and stuff to set in those things, and go 200 and 300 miles. That one car to go 200 miles an hour. There's no way I wouldn't go 20 in that thing.
So what blew me away about that is the wheels, all aluminum. It was just a chunk of aluminum with a knurled surface on the top. Can you imagine how out of balance that would be at 200 and whatever mile an hour?
Just think about fighting that steering wheel.
I don't know. That just blows me away. Absolutely blows me away.
And back then the safety equipment.
Yeah.
The helmets, the goggles, the fire suits. I mean, because the fire suits didn't really come into play until after that fire had hutch.
Yeah. Well, I don't know how many cars or whatever that the drive shaft was running right down through your leg. Right down through the middle of your leg.
Yeah, exactly. Hank, we got another caller line. We get on real quick. We got a few minutes left on the show. What's the difference between a monkey wrench and a pipe wrench? So that's what we got coming on the phone here. We'll see if this is the question. What is the difference between a monkey wrench and a pipe wrench? And Josh, of course, knew that.
Greg's got it. I answered his question.
Yeah, well, okay. I think you just got lucky.
Oh, okay.
I think you just got lucky, Josh.
Gotcha. Okay. Greg's got it. I can tell in the text.
Well, let's find out. Let's find out if he's got the right answer, if he's got it or not. It's going to be interesting to see if he's got it.
So next Saturday, you're on the roof.
God,
You
I
know
can't believe
that,
that's
right?
already here.
It is right around the corner.
Yeah, it is coming. So we'll get Greg on the line here, see if he knows the difference. Josh, you're gonna have to get technical since you know the answer.
Oh. All right, Greg won.
Greg's not coming through. Where's Greg? Anyway, just a few minutes left on the show. We'll get Greg passed through here for real quick. And again, thanks everybody that come out to the Black Friday sale we had yesterday. It was a lot of fun, exciting, always true. Again, next Saturday, boy, we're going up on the roof, save some toys for the Salvation Army. I think this is going to be year 14, I think. Maybe it's 15. I think it's 15 because we counted up 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. It's 15 years.
It's crazy.
15th year to go up on the roof to save toys for Salvation Army. So it'll be great next Saturday. Get your toys, bring them out, new unwrapped toys, and we'll get them over to the Salvation Army for you and stuff. And I'll go on the roof till we fill up them F-150s full of toys. So I guess Greg's not coming through.
Yeah, not.
So anyway, Greg Murray says it's not him, so it must be a different Greg or whatever too. So anyway, I guess nobody knows the difference between a monkey wrench and a pipe wrench. So since we're running out of time, real quick, again, thanks everybody coming out to Black Friday sale. Hope I gave everybody a good update on the racetrack, what's happened over in Hutch. Number 2, BG Products. They help us keep this show going each and every week. And of course, it's just a great partnership we have with those guys over at BG Products. And we talked a little bit about Delbert, some of the situations with his car. If you want to keep your car maintained and running many, many more miles than what it's designed to run and do, let us help you with the BG Products. Let our service advisors help you set that up. Big Corner Creative for all your advertising needs. Say anything you need for your business. If you need a web page design, anything to advertise your business, help, direct mail, radio, TV, newspaper, which might be what your choice is, or if you need a vehicle wrap, windows wrap, race car wraps, whatever it might be, window tint. And like Jesse says, just Google us. And then, of course, I hope everybody's got your reservation with Stan and go inside Milham Ford Go to Rent. We finally got Stan's fleet back up again, and he's got a great fleet of vehicles, but I still would get a reservation if you need something bigger to get to Grandma's house for Christmas and the holidays and stuff too. So I guess we missed Greg. And okay, hold on. I think we're going to get Greg through here because I'm going to have Josh tell everybody what the difference is between a monkey wrench and a pipe wrench. But maybe Greg's going to be on here and he'll be able to tell us what is the difference. Maybe.
All right, let's go to the phones. Let's talk to Greg. Greg, apologize about the delay there, but do you know the difference?
Yes. Have you got a call yet on it?
You are the guy. You have the answer. I can feel it.
Okay. The monkey wrench has smooth jaws, and they're fixed. They slide back and forth. Where a pipe wrench has teeth on the jaws, and the outer jaw has some flex to grab onto the pipe.
You get that off of Google, Greg?
No, I grew up with a monkey wrench.
No, I think Greg's probably used a few of both the pipe wrench and the monkey wrench.
Yeah.
Haven't you, Greg?
Yeah, I sure have.
Yeah.
Well, very good. That is absolutely correct.
I'm going to tell you, Greg, I learned something new last night because we were up there at the Speedway deal, and they had a whole row of those monkey wrenches lined up there, and the guy that was taking us around asked the difference. And, of course, Josh said he knew everything else, which, I think he had his phone out Googling us what he was doing, Greg. But I didn't. I did not know there was really a difference.
Phil's answer was the guy running it. That's the difference.
Yeah, very true. So, yeah, I'm sure, Greg, you've used a few of them. I've used both of them. Didn't realize I was using the differences. What I didn't realize. So, anyway, Greg, a great question, great answer. Glad you got it for us, buddy, and everything else too.
We'll get that sent out to you.
Okie doke. Thank you.
Thanks, Greg.
Thanks for the call.
All right, everybody, it's running out of time. Everything else too. Thanks for all the watchers, thanks for all the listeners, everything we had going on today. Exciting time, and it's Saturday, and next Saturday is the going up on the roof, fill 5 trucks full F-150. So please go get a new unwrapped toy. Drop it off out here at Milham Ford. If you can't come Saturday, we'll have trucks on the showroom floor to put them in beforehand. But we'd love to see you Saturday. Santa will be here.
Santa.
Josh is going to get the first picture with Santa sitting on his lap, telling me he needs a monkey wrench for Christmas.
Yeah,
because he doesn't have any. So, anyway, everybody, have a great Saturday, and hopefully this weather blows through here real fast and everything for us. From that part, I know we need the moisture too. From that standpoint, so let's get a lot of snow and melt away fast. So, everybody, have a great Saturday. We'll talk to you next Saturday, right before we go up on the roof for for getting toys for the Salvation Army next Saturday. Talk to you next Saturday, 9 o'clock. Everybody, have a great Saturday. Talk to you soon.